We're live again after a long break. We're talking this evening about making your dreams non negotiable and how you actually do that to design the life of your dreams. So I'm happy for you joining me. Hey, 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 hey. All right, we have people popping on already. Awesome to have you guys on. I'm going to be giving you a few seconds to settle in. Hi, Janelle. Hi, Lati. Hi, Miss Nalia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just excited to see you guys popping on just within seconds of me signing on to this live. As you know, I wasn't on last week because I wasn't doing so well. Hi, naturally on a budget. Welcome. Yeah, I wasn't doing so great last week. I was out sick, guys. I was in bed all of last week. Did absolutely nothing. Hey, Janelle, how are you? Had to cancel so many things last week, but I'm back up this week again. This week is the week, guys. So many things happening this week. It's amazing. Listen, you can hear my husky voice, right? Some of what I need to get some to drink. Let me grab some water and come back because I cannot afford for y'all to. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Where is my water? All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Oh, hi, Melissa. Ooh, all right. I had to go get some water. I hope the rest that you got was enough. Can't enough. I love sleeping out, so it cannot be enough. But it was good. It was good though. It was good. I'm still, as you can hear, you can probably hear it in my voice. It still sounds very husky. Hence, I had to go grab my water. I just came off my accountability call with my two accountability partners. And one of them reminded me, grab your water. So here I am. I have to preserve my voice because, as you know, I have a real big presentation this week. If you don't already know, on Thursday, I'll be presenting live at Amplify 2022. That's being put on by Thinkific. If you don't know who Thinkific is what a major tech company that hosts online courses. And my topic is stop overthinking. Selecting your course idea is easier than you think. And that's my area, talking about online courses, but more importantly is aligning your course, whatever coaching program that you produce, with your purpose. And that is the connection that we're going to be making inside of Amplify 2022. So I'm going to be on Thursday at, oh my gosh, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 p.m. Jamaica time, I believe. Listen, don't quote me. I'm going to check the itinerary again. I'm going to check the itinerary again. But I know it's in the afternoon. So I'll post it on my feed so you guys can know exactly when I'll be on. But I'm going to encourage you. Here's the thing before we jump into making your dreams non-negotiable. I'm going to encourage you honestly to attend the whole conference. This is going to be my 4th year at a similar conference. Like Thinkific normally hosts a conference in August every summer, and I've been attending for the past 3 years. And every year that I attend, it's usually like my midweek encounter. Like it's not midweek, mid-year, like July, August, around that time. And the speakers are always so amazing, so powerful, and just encouraging, and not just encouraging and motivating, but also giving you practical tips that you can apply to your business. And so the very first time I heard about that conference, I've been going there since day one. So I've been going to that particular conference 3 years in a row. This is year 4, and I'm now on the agenda. Oh my God, that feels so good to say I'm on the agenda. I'm going to be speaking at Amplify 2022. So every year, every year it's always amazing. So I encourage you not to just to show up just to hear my speech. I beg you, just sit down through all of the presentations if you can, and I hope they're going to be sending out the replay so you can definitely tune in. Somebody's asking, can we tune in? Absolutely, the conference is free. Just go over to Thinkific's Instagram page, anywhere on social. Go to thinkific.com, and I'm pretty sure it's on their homepage. You can register. It's a free conference, but it is amazing. It's an awesome free conference. It feels like a paid conference, put it that way. It's a conference that you should be paying good money to attend. So go and register. Hello, mommy. Mommy is watching me, y'all. Hey, mama, what's up? How do you sign up for that? Is there a link? Hold on. Let me just quickly pull it up and send it out where I can. Thinkific.com. If you go to thinkific.com, it's there. Let's see. It should be right there on the homepage. Amplify. Are you kidding me? It's not on the homepage. Of course it is. Here it is. All right. So I'm dropping that link inside of the chat on YouTube and Facebook. For you guys on Instagram, I'll drop it inside of my stories once we're done here. All right. All right. We have a few people on. Glad to have you guys. So let's quickly jump into what do I mean by making your dreams non-negotiable. So 2 weeks ago, I came on here and I was talking to you about how to design your dream life, right? And I hope you went and watched week one's replay, because that video was intended to be just one video. It just so happened that we were having such a fabulous conversation that the first point that I had took us the entire time. So I've officially broken it down into 3 parts. So part 1 is all about not giving other people permission. Let me just say it the way I said it there. You do not have permission to compare your life with somebody else's. Like, you cannot compare your start to somebody else's finish on social media. You cannot compare what you're going through to what Julia is going through, or anybody else for that matter, because everybody's experience is unique. So that was week 1, and there are some really, really good nuggets that we came out of that conversation. And I say conversation because I want us to have an actual conversation where we're talking and you're asking your questions, you're sharing your feedback inside of the chat. I see some people popping into the on YouTube as well. All right, so I'm going to be checking the comments. Hi, Pastor Wayne. Glad to have you. I am going to be checking the comments as we go through. Like I said, this is a conversation. It's not just Julia speaking. So I'd love to hear your feedback and all of the amazing things that you're thinking as we're going through this session, right? So that was week 1. We talked about not just not comparing yourself to other people, why that's important, and a whole lot of nuggets in between. Today's session, I'm going to be talking about this concept I learned from Lisa Nichols called making your dreams non-negotiable. That word non-negotiable is so powerful for me, because when I think about the dreams that God placed in my heart, the reason that they are there is because you are designed to accomplish a certain will in order to empower the kingdom of God. And you know, I'm a church girl, so we're going to be talking about this all along, right? So all of those dreams, when the Bible talks about before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. All of that is also connected to purpose. And so the purpose, the reason that you are here, the intention that God placed you on this earth is non-negotiable on his side. Like, this is what I created Julia to do. This is what I created Melissa to do. So that purpose that God placed inside of you is non-negotiable for him, right? So making those dreams, those desires, the purpose, the will, whatever we want to call it, non-negotiable for us means that as soon as we identify or purpose, as soon as we identify the missions, let me say missions, and the different projects that we ought to be a part of throughout our lifetime, in order for us to get up every day feeling fulfilled, feeling happy, feeling at peace with the direction in which your life is going, in order for that to happen, you have to align your actions with the purpose that God placed inside of your heart. And so the next thing you want to think of is, what are those things that you have to get up and take action on every single day in order for that purpose to be fulfilled, right? So if in order for the purpose God placed in your heart to be fulfilled, there are certain things that must happen. And those things that must happen are what I call our non-negotiables. So for example, the vision that I have is to empower 1,000 individuals this year in 2022 to realize their purpose. That's the vision, right? Now, in order for me to be able to accomplish that, I must be well in my body. Now, the sickness that I have is my husband give it to me. It was not anything that I did. I just happened to be in the house with a man that had the flu and he passed it on. Now, imagine if I wasn't taking care of my body, right? How much worse this flu would have hit me. So even though my goal is to reach 1,000 individuals in 2022, in order for me to accomplish that goal, my body has to be well. So this is the sub goal that is attached to the 1,000 vision. The sub goal is to ensure that my body is physically fit and well, in order so that whenever TVJ calls me, I can show up. So that when the speaking engagement comes, when Amplify comes around on Thursday, I can show up in my best self, right? So that if I get up every day and decide that I'm going to eat junk food, I'm going to sleep at whatever hours I want to sleep, I'm not going to exercise well and take care of my body, in another 2-3 months, Julia is going to be popped down. And when I pop down, that's going to be pop downness of my own doing. And so I'm not going to be able to show up the way I should show up in my highest possible self in front of the audience in order to reach that 1,000 individuals. Do you see the connection? And this is where my non-negotiable comes in. I haven't been doing so great over the past week and a half, I must confess, because I haven't been well. But this is where the non-negotiable comes in. My non-negotiable for showing up in my healthiest, most fit self is that every single morning I must do some kind of workout. I no longer watch the time. We're just talking about it with my accountability partners. I no longer say, okay, Julia must do a 30-minute workout. I say, Julia must do a workout. Now, that workout could be a 5-minute stretch. It could be 100 skips on my skipping rope. It could be a 20-minute YouTube video that I'm following. But my non-negotiable is this. You cannot allow 9 a.m. to pass and you have not done some form of physical activity. And to encourage myself a little bit more along those lines, I give myself an ultimatum. If you don't work out, you can't eat. And that's one of the things I learned in a book I read called Atomic Habits. So my reward for working out is actually having breakfast. And I've been extremely disciplined in that regard. Some mornings I'm eating at 10, 11. Sometimes I don't eat until noon. So I technically am on an involuntary fast because I have given myself a non-negotiable task. You must work out at least 6 mornings per week. It doesn't matter how long it takes, whether it takes 5 minutes or 20 minutes, you must get one workout in. So working out for me is a non-negotiable, and it fuels my bigger goal of showing up in my best possible self for my audience, so I can reach 1,000 people this year and help them to unearth their life purpose. Do you see how all of this connects? I want you to just type in the chat or hit the heart on Instagram and let me know. I'm watching the chat, guys. Does this make sense to you? So when you have your goals, you break your goals down into specific tasks. And what you have to do is ensure that there are certain tasks that are directly related to your goal that are non-negotiable. You do not allow yourself to go through the day without accomplishing that task. So the goal is to reach 1,000 people. And the tasks might be, okay, you must send out an email to your audience at least once per week. So here's the thing. That particular task is actually on my content calendar. So a minimum of once per week, I am sending out an email to my subscribers. The goal is to reach 1,000 people. What is the task? The task is host a webinar every Thursday at 7 p.m. So that webinar that we had 2 weeks ago, that webinar that we had not last week, the week before, the week before and the week before that, the first week in January, the second week in January, last week I wasn't well. That webinar for me is non-negotiable. How do I ensure that that webinar happens? I open registration. And if at least one person registers for that webinar, I have to show up. If 0 people show up for that webinar, I'm going to show up and teach just the same. You've ever been on a webinar where nobody, you're the only person there, and the presenter is just going and going like there's 500 people in the room? I've done that. When I haven't had a 0 webinar in a while, meaning I haven't done a webinar where nobody showed up. But when I just started out in business, there are many, many webinars that I hosted that nobody came. And I turned on my camera, I taught, I shared, I had a fabulous time. And then I sent out the replay to the people who were registered. Why? Because that was a non-negotiable for me. And some of you would come on live and you see 0 people on the live, and for the first 2 minutes, and you're like, oh, let me come off. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. But if your goal is to reach more people with your content, and you decide that, okay, every Wednesday morning at 7 o'clock a.m., I'm going to show up live. Whether or not you have an audience, it is your responsibility to make that live non-negotiable. Why? Because you are developing a habit. Imagine if you show up the first Wednesday morning, 0 people show up, and you decide, nobody's listening to me. Let me not do this live next week. And somebody would have shown up the first week, but something happened, and they were looking forward to see you next week, Wednesday, you didn't show up. And that person would have told 3 more persons. So you would have ended up with 4 people on your third live, but you didn't show up on week 1. You didn't show up on week 2. You got discouraged in week 3. And so you've lost that audience. Now, bear in mind that when that burden is placed inside of your heart, when you feel purpose deep down in your soul, and you know that this is what you ought to be doing, you cannot let those external forces influence you. As discouraging as it may be, because I can tell you it can be discouraging. Not can be. It is discouraging. Let me just rephrase that. It is discouraging. However, based on based on the conviction that you have to make those tasks non-negotiable. Once you create that plan and you realize this is the goal, this is the plan that's going to get me to my goal, what are these things that I cannot go throughout the day without doing? What are these things that I cannot go throughout my week without doing? What are those things that I cannot go throughout this month without doing? Those are the things that are non-negotiable. Those are the things that when you consistently do them are going to get you to the bigger goal. So I want you to think of, what time is it? Okay, we've on for 21 minutes. I want you to think of a large goal that you have. Just think of a goal that you have. And in your thinking, I want you to break that goal down into smaller tasks. And you're going to prioritize those things that you will not allow yourself to slack off on. Those are the non-negotiables. Yes, you're going to have to do the other things eventually. You will have to do the other things. But what you want to do right now is to build a consistent habit of doing those non-negotiables consistently. Can't find a better word. Consistently. Every day, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. Every week, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. And the more you build on that habit, then it's the easier that thing becomes. And then so you add another non-negotiable onto that. So you now have 2 tasks that you're showing up every day consistently for. By the end of 3 months, you now have 3 non-negotiables that you're showing up with. 4, sorry. And the more things you add to that list of non-negotiables is the higher possibility you have of actually accomplishing your goal. And that's it. That's it, guys. That's literally it. So if you're just trying to figure out at this point, okay, which one of these things do I do first? Just highlight the one that's most important and make that your non-negotiable. And start just showing up and ensuring that if nothing else, make sure that one task is completed. Like a part of my weight loss goal, I shared my weight loss goal with you earlier this year. My goal is to lose 50 pounds by December 31, 2022. That's my weight loss goal, right? And one of my non-negotiables is I have to work out in the mornings. And to sweeten the deal, I don't allow myself to eat until I've worked out. No, when I eat, I may not eat the best of things. I don't always drink my water the amount that I should, but working out is a non-negotiable for me. Because I want to make sure that I'm keeping my body fit and healthy. You see, for me personally, I don't know about you, but I know what my body feels like when I'm not fit and it does not feel good. So I don't allow myself to get into that mode of just eating whatever, not working out the way I should, because I know I don't like the way my body feels when I'm not showing up for my health. And that's why that's a non-negotiable for me, because I know the results if I don't do it. You understand? So that's one of the things that you can use to encourage you as well. What's on the other side of not doing what you're supposed to do? If I am not healthy, if my body is not fit, I'm sick a whole lot more often. There are nights when I cannot sleep because my anxiety take over and I just can't fall asleep. There be days I just smell stuff and I'm nauseous. Sometimes my gut just makes some weird noises and it's so uncomfortable. I feel like I want to throw up. Because I know what that feels like, I don't allow myself to lapse on my health and fitness goals because I don't want to get to that place again. So think of what's on the other side of not taking specific non-negotiable steps or action steps towards your goal. What's on the other side of that? And use that to encourage and motivate you. Now, for those of you who are wondering, this Thursday night webinar, if you go to juliaobarnes.com/exit, we're on again this Thursday with our exit plan, how to transition from your job to your purpose and get paid. Also on Thursday, I'm going to be live at Amplify 2022. I'm one of their featured speakers. I'm on Thursday afternoon. But like I said earlier, don't just come to the conference to hear Julia speak, to support me. Go to the entire conference for yourself. I promise you it's going to change your life. I've been there 3 years in a row and it's been amazing. Let's just put it that way. Added to that, what else do I have to share with you? Oh, the webinar this Thursday, juliaobarnes.com/exit. Just register there. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, Tuesday. Yes, that's the other thing. I'm going to be live with Shine Bootcamp. For those of you who don't know, Shine Bootcamp is my latest speaker training program that I attended. I was a student of this program. Amazing speaking program. So some people were asking me, not some people, two people in particular had asked me about, recommending them to speaking programs. So let me just address that before I go off. My first ever speaker training program was with Global Speakers. If you search for Global Speakers on Instagram, Facebook, I think she's on Twitter, you will find Global Speakers. It's a company founded by a good friend of mine, Sally Ann Gray. She's an international speaker, trained by the likes of Les Brown, etc. I did my first speaker training with her, and that program was amazing. It was the launching pad for my speaking career. Last year, during recovery from my miscarriage last year, I decided I wanted to up my speaker game. An opportunity came up. I enrolled in Shine Bootcamp, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made for my career, because Shine Bootcamp took my speaking to another level. And it was through the Shine Bootcamp community that I'm now able to be speaking on Amplify 2022. So you see how all the things connected. Like, I knew I needed to up my speaking game. One of my things for last year was to find a speaker training program to attend, and Shine Bootcamp was it. And so I'm going to be on with Shine tomorrow on Instagram. Yeah, we're going to be live on Instagram. I just turn on my camera for you guys on Facebook and YouTube as well. But the actual conversation is going to be between myself and Ali on Instagram. The reason I'm bringing this up is because they are open for registration. I can't tell you, like, this is probably year 4 of them running the program, and it's one of those invaluable programs that I'm forever grateful to have been a part of. The networking opportunities are tremendous, and just the amazing connections. Like, a lot of the speakers you saw on the summit that I hosted in November came out of the Shine Bootcamp program. A lot of international opportunities are popping up inside of the community. And it's just an amazing network to be a part of. But you can't become a part of the network unless you've taken the program. So I'm going to be live with Ali tomorrow on Instagram. And like I said, I'll just turn on my camera for the rest of you. And we're going to be talking about my whole experience inside of the program and what it has done for me, some of the results that have shown up in my life since I ended the program in November of last year. 2022, like just 2 months ago. Wow. 2 months ago. So join me tomorrow live. I think it's 6 p.m. right? 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jamaica time. We're going to be live on Thursday. I'm going to be at Amplify. And Thursday night, we have our weekly Thursday night webinar. It's become a thing now, where I'm going to be sharing with you some principles how to transition from your job to your purpose and get paid. And the final announcement is that Position for Purpose is officially open. We start on February 1. People are all hyped up already. I'll soon introduce you to my students once we get into things. But a new cohort begins on February 5. February 1, if you don't know what Position for Purpose is, it is my where I teach you to discover your purpose and to design your dream life. And we're doing it in 90 days. And then we have an additional 90 days worth of coaching and implementation. So if you come to the webinar on Thursday, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But if you click the link in my bio as well, that link is on Facebook, that link is on YouTube, that link is also on Instagram. It will take you directly to where you can learn more about Position for Purpose and enroll there, as well as you can show up. If you show up on the webinar, I promise you an extra special discount if you show up live, but you have to show up live. You have to show up live. All right. So I want to know from you, based on what we talked about in the session this evening, just making your dreams non-negotiable. I want to know from you, based on all that I shared over the past 30 minutes, we're gonna come up soon. Does that make sense to you? I want you to tap the hearts, type some yes in the chat, and let me know. Does that make sense to you? Because the thing is, you don't need a ton of money. You just need to make consistent actions every single day towards your dreams. You don't need to know anybody. In Jamaica, we say it's not who you know, it's who know you. You don't necessarily need to know anyone or anybody. It helps. It really does help a long way. But you showing up for you makes an even bigger difference. When you show up and take deliberate steps, I see the hearts popping up, guys. Thank you for that. When you start showing up for yourself every single day, that's how people begin to notice you. Let me just share a story with you. Oh, I always have stories for days. In 2020, when I got my very first media feature, it didn't happen by chance. I had been showing up as boss teacher for a whole year prior to that. And I remember putting on an event, and the young lady said to me, "We have to get you in the paper." It was more important to her. Like, I was excited just to be in the paper, you know what I mean? But it was so important to her. Why? Because she saw that I was showing up consistently for my audience. Now, imagine if I just decided to be boss teacher and there was no consistency, there was no seriousness about what I was doing. I probably would not have gotten that newspaper feature at all. But somebody saw me showing up consistently. I was featured in the Gleaner for the first time in 2020. And it was a whole spread, like it was a whole full front cover feature in the Flair magazine. And then in that year, I landed a few more radio interviews. Why? Because somebody saw me showing non-negotiable for my audience and decided, hey, Julia, you could be a good person to talk about this topic. There are people who found me through the radio interviews. There are people who found me through the newspaper feature. There are people who found me and eventually became my clients. Do you see the link here? Do you think I'd be on an international stage coming this Thursday if I wasn't showing up consistently and making these lives non-negotiable for my audience? No. Let me tell you a secret, which is not so much of a secret. These people research you before they accept, even though the votes were a huge part of it. There was actually research done to see if I am capable of doing what I say I can do. So had I not made showing up on a Monday night non-negotiable, had I not made connecting with my audience non-negotiable, these opportunities would not have been opening up to me. I was on TV again last week, Saturday gone. Why? Because I was showing up consistently and making these moves, doing these non-negotiable things. There is no way the producers would have called me had I not been showing up consistently. So these lives, like Monday Night Live, is a part of my non-negotiable. The only thing that's gonna stop me from doing this is if I'm sick or at next week. I'm gonna be on vacation next week, guys. But I'm still gonna be showing up for you all. Like I said, the only thing that's gonna keep me from doing these lives is if I'm not well. Because this is one of the ways of me sharing my wealth of wisdom with the world. And so Monday night, 7 p.m. Jamaica time, non-negotiable. And it's all a part of the bigger goal of impacting 1,000 lives. So you see how it's connected? And so when you get up every day, and you might be doing these little things and you're like, oh, nobody is showing up, nobody is responding. I don't think it makes any sense. If it is a part of your passion, if it's a part of the drive and the mission and the purpose that is deep down inside of your heart, keep doing it, because the results will eventually show up in your life and in your business. All right. So soon, SEUN, Lord, I do not want to massacre your name, but this person says it sounds like a good plan. Steady daily steps. Absolutely. Absolutely. What a lot of people do is that after 3 months, and you don't see the results that you want, you give up. Because you've been at this for 3 months and you're not getting the kind of results that you want, you get discouraged, you move on to something else. So you break the consistency. And then you never actually get to see the results that you want because you stop trying at 3 months. You have to keep at it. You have to keep at it. You have to keep at it. So make those tasks non-negotiable. Like have the dream front and center. And those tasks that you're going to do, show up daily. Just do them. Make them non-negotiable. Get them done. And I promise you, you will start to see things show up in your life. You will start to see the dream come to fruition, and that dream life that you've been just carrying around in your head for months, for weeks, for years, it will eventually become a reality. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you it will. All right. So next week, I am going to be sharing with you the third and final point that I had in my notes about designing your dream life. Next week, Monday at 7 p.m., we're making that time slot non-negotiable. Come and join me. Good night, Shelley. And we're gonna be sharing on point 3. Soon, oh my God, said thanks, and that was the right way to pronounce my name. Shun. Thank you. It's Shun. Okay. With the SHEUN. I like it. Shun. Oh my. All right. Good night, Shelley. Naturally on a budget. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see all the people who are here with me on the radar. Hi, Renor. Some people popped in and out, but I'm just excited to be back on live again. Like I missed y'all last week, I kid you not. I was like, I really miss coming on live. I think I enjoy coming on live. So see y'all next week, Monday. Oh yeah, tomorrow night I'm gonna be on with Shine Bootcamp. So make sure you pop in and watch that interview. And I'll just keep you posted on what's going on with me, because I know y'all, so many of you are so excited about the whole Thinkific event, And I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for the community that I have, because there are people who have been DMing me and just telling me how proud they are of me, how happy they see me on the speaker lineup. And I've just been getting a whole, just a lot of positivity inside of my inbox. And I'm grateful for you guys. This smile is just hurting my face right now, but I'm grateful for all of y'all. And just pray I can get to my nail tech to fix this before Thursday. It popped off this morning, y'all. And I'm like, shucks, this couldn't happen like Thursday night. But yeah. But thank you for all of the kind words. I really, really appreciate them. I've been reading every single one and just responding. Hi, Auntie. Auntie said we need to talk. Lord, that sounds like me in trouble. I don't think I'm going to get a spanking. No, Auntie Caroline is not going to spank me at all. Mwah, love you, Auntie. We need to talk. What's up, mate? When I finish. All right. Good night, everyone. I think that's it for tonight. So we'll we'll meet back here next week, same time, and join me when I go live with Shine Bootcamp tomorrow. Lati is saying this is how some of us get our blessings by default, when the intended person did not show us and you did. Lord, that sounds deep. That sounds very deep, Lati. That sounds, but I like it though, because sometimes the encouragement doesn't come from the direction that you think it's gonna come. And sometimes the people who you're expecting to be there disappoint you. Like I've been there, the whole works. And sometimes it's not intentional, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes you get disappointed and it's not always intentional. It just kind of, life kind of just happen a certain way. But the good thing is that you can find the encouragement and the motivation and the push somewhere else. And I'm happy that you're able to find that through me showing up. I'm happy that I'm a part of that, your whole entire progress. So yeah. So thank you all for the encouragement. Like thanks a million. All right. So okay, how many times have I said good night now? I can't manage. I think I've said good night too many times. Hi, Ruthann. Ruthann. Ruthann, I've been trying to log off for like 20 minutes now. We've just been chit chatting. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night. This is officially it. Okay. I'm gone. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. We'll see you again when I go live. Night, guys.